My truck got robbed because I had like most of my
dude.
luggage in there. All I had on me was all my camera stuff. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is your car. This is your truck." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Somebody lit your truck on fire." So
Lit your truck
Somebody lit
on
the truck.
fire.
let's do this first.
Here,
We
ASMR.
going? We going? We're good?
ASMR.
We
ASMR.
clear?
ASMR.
ASMR.
Oh, that was good.
I've never had this before. I've never had this beep 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 before.
I don't know why he just spoke in Morse code, but this is my degree, and this isn't my degree. Welcome to the show where I give you a backstage pass into the life of a content creator and full-time freelancer, and I get to hang out with cool people like...
Me,
Who are you?
Josh Kreuger.
What do you do?
I'm a content creator.
This guy is speaking
Full-time.
very, like, punctually.
I'm a full-time content creator. That's what I do.
How did you get started doing that?
Do you want me to run it?
Yeah, let's run it. Come on.
All right,
Let's
so
do this.
I would say
We're diving right in. Wasting no time.
I think. All right. So I bought a laptop when I was like 10, right? A cheap laptop.
You bought a laptop
well,
at 10 years
I got
old?
it for Christmas, but it was
Okay.
like Christmas money.
I'm like, damn. He's a baller 10-year-old.
So I got a laptop. I got a waterproof camera, like $100 Lumix waterproof camera, and I started just shooting random things with it. Vacation videos. I used to shoot skits with my friends.
Yeah.
And that was what, almost 10 years ago, I'd say, maybe 10 years ago. I was in third or fourth
How old
grade.
are you?
I'm 19.
Damn.
So third or fourth grade would have been about 10, 11 years ago. So I was doing that, made some videos. At that point, I was like, I learned how to edit on Movie Maker, on Windows Movie Maker.
Bro, Movie Maker
it
was crazy.
And that was when Windows 8 came out too. Oh god.
Ooh, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
Windows. Yeah, so Movie Maker, and I used to like make stupid videos. Like one time, me and my friend ate ghost pepper sauce twice, 2 different times. It had like.
When you
I
were
remember-
10?
Yeah, when I was in 5th grade. I remember I was in 5th grade. I made that video with him, and I thought it was famous in the 5th grade class. Everybody had seen my video. 500 views on YouTube in 5th grade was a big deal.
Yo, that's actually a big deal.
It's a big deal. So, yeah, we ate ghost pepper sauce. I did a whole bunch of stuff. I did like Minecraft videos. I did that. I did skits. I did like funny montage, I would call it. And honestly, none of those videos are on my YouTube channel anymore. I deleted them, but they're on a hard drive somewhere. I have most of them. So one day I'll release them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull out the hard drive.
One day I'll
see
release
those
them.
old videos and like see how you've developed as a creator.
It's crazy.
Because didn't you do like skating stuff too?
That's later in the story. But yes, I breakdanced for a while. So I breakdanced.
What?
Yeah, when I was 5, I started. So my brothers became part of this breakdancing crew here in St. Louis, and they would compete around the city, around the country, and I got involved when I was 5.
Yeah.
And then I think I did that till I was like 12, like 12 years old when I stopped breakdancing, and I stopped taking lessons when I was like 9.
Yeah.
But I did that. So I did content. I did some videos about that too.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Like
Just like simple.
classic home videos that you would see a kid make.
Dude, I get it. What some of my first videos were Dance Dance Revolution, so maybe we could like
Exactly.
start a crew. I don't know. Right here.
So
You see it here first, folks.
I did that, and then in 7th grade, I picked up a scooter for the first time. I picked up a Razor scooter. I went to Ramp Riders, which is down there on Gravois 55.
Yeah.
And I started riding scooter, and I didn't know it was a sport. Turned into a sport, and made some like Instagram edits and some YouTube videos here and there about scootering.
Yeah.
7 years later, it'll be almost exactly 7 years soon that I started scootering. 7 years later, I'm here. So I made like, when I started doing YouTube full time, not full time, when I started doing YouTube consistently, I was doing that, was that 2020, October of 2020. So almost 3 years I've been doing YouTube consistently, like almost every week with some breaks. And then made scootering videos, vlogs, didn't really know much about analytics or like, anything. I just made videos.
You were just like, I'm making videos just for the fun of it.
Yep.
Like this is something I genuinely enjoy.
Yep. I tried vlogging, scootering videos. I did some like public prank type things. I didn't really like that, so I didn't do that anymore. But
the thing that I find very respectable though is the fact that you experimented.
Yeah.
Like you were like, I want to try like just a ton of shit and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like you didn't just box yourself into one thing.
And that's hard to not do.
Yeah.
It's very hard to not do. But
so you went from making like all these different variety types of content to you started trading things.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me think.
Yeah, walk us through from like whenever you first came up with this idea. I want to hear like what it was like sitting there realizing I'm gonna trade a bunch of things and work towards a goal, and I want you to
So
walk us through it.
it's very cloudy and like vague. But when I started, so I'll start here. A year and a month ago, July of 2022, I was still. So all right. Actually, let me start in. Oh my God, there's a whole other side of me that I didn't even talk about, the entrepreneurship.
Is there a side that you've kept from YouTube,
No,
like kept
it's
from your
just a side of me
subscribers?
that's not related to YouTube necessarily.
Oh,
When I was in
identity.
when I was in sophomore year of high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, which is fine because you're a sophomore in high school. But then I went and took a tour of this school called South Tech here in St. Louis, which has programs for like, carpentry and culinary arts and like veterinary stuff, nurses and like technical things like robotics and machine manufacturing, computers, things
So it
like
was
that.
like a tech trade kind of
Yeah.
deal.
So I went to take a tour of that just for fun. Found this course called, I'm going to make this super quick because we can touch on a different episode, but found this course called Design and Entrepreneurship, which is pretty much learning everything about business and learning everything about like building things.
Yeah, yeah.
And long story short, I became involved with that. I wanted to start a couple different businesses like a skate park, a scooter shop, and then I ended up coming up with an idea for a media company that I wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
That was almost 2 years ago. And then I pursued that a lot, got involved with this company called Nifty, which is a nonprofit, and then I went through their whole Nifty national competition thing.
I like the name Nifty.
Nifty, Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. But yeah, and that was last year in October. I went to New York and competed in one actually, but I don't like saying that because I feel like I'm bragging about it.
Sometimes you
But
gotta brag.
it's a huge part of my story.
Yeah, that's like the foundation right there. What?
A huge part of my
Look
story.
it up. I'll show you the video of my pitch. But anyway, so it was like a business pitch competition pretty much.
Dude, that's incredible. What?
Yeah, it was insane. So that was last year in October, and last year in July. Actually, let me start. Last year around like my friend Lewis, shout out Lewis. He lived with me for a couple months, and he also is a content creator. He does his own thing, and he lived with me for a little bit. I loved having a creator live in the same house as me. My parents were generous enough to let him live with us.
Yeah.
And he wanted to move to Cleveland because there's a large scootering scene there, and at the time I was making scootering videos. So we decided to get an apartment in Cleveland. That ended up falling through in the summertime of last year.
Yeah.
And I was for sure going to move to Cleveland.
Yeah.
That never happened. So I ended up staying here.
Yeah.
And I didn't really, like, at the time, this was senior year last year. Like, I was not going to go to college. I just wasn't.
You were like, I'm just going to pursue this full time.
I was going to chase this and see what happens
Yeah.
first. And then if I really need
that's
college
exciting.
later, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like, I don't need to do it right now. Why would I do it right now? I don't need to. If I was, like, wanted to be a doctor, I'd go to college.
Yeah.
But what I want to do didn't necessarily require it. So I didn't go to college. Yeah, I was kind of like, looking back on it, it feels aimless what I was doing, but I'm sure I had a better mindset at the time. And then I ended up joining Creator Now, which is like the huge platform that I told you about for creators.
Which is super cool.
Yeah, we won't. Shout out Creator Now.
They're definitely worth a shout out because like
Facts.
a lot of stuff I've learned just from like hearing you talk, but then also like actually being on the platform, engaging with the platform. Like there's a lot.
It's crazy, and I joined them a year ago, and it's pretty much to put it simply, it's an online platform / community for creators to go meet each other, learn things, and actually make content creation full time. So that's what I did, and that's what happened to me after joining. Is I made content creation full time. I learned everything that I needed to know: storytelling and editing, how to edit the way you want to make your style, how to cultivate an audience, how to read analytics, how to do everything. And so
like
I learned,
packaging, distribution, everything.
yeah, and it changed my mindset. So at that point, and a little bit before that, in July of last year, Ryan Trahan did his Surviving on a Penny for 30 Days series, which was a huge thing. And at the time, I wasn't like a huge Ryan Trahan fan, but he did the whole trading series multiple times. And I was like, all right, he traded a paperclip for a house and like a car, things like that. I'm going to just, literally, I remember in my mind, I'm like, what else is in my drawer, my junk drawer at home that I can trade for something and make a video about? So I picked a rubber band. And then I made a whole series about trading a rubber band for a car, and it was motivated through customizing the car for Airrack, huge YouTuber. He also kind of runs Creator Now in a way, so that's why I chose Airrack. And yeah, and then from August to September, I traded a rubber band for an old car, and then I came back to it in like November and traded the car into a pickup truck, customized the pickup truck, and drove it out to LA, gave it to Airrack, made a bunch of videos about it. It's all on my channel.
And how? Okay, everything's gonna be linked below.
There's
by the
so
way,
much information that I have to like.
So like, okay, so you took this truck across the country.
Yeah.
Because we're in St. Louis. You drove it to LA.
28 hours. Yeah.
How was that drive like? Because that's a long distance to drive.
So it was a Friday night, and so they were expecting me to deliver it on the 16th. And
so they knew you were on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had been emailing with them because if I told them about what I made Airrack, they would have gotten me like a special pass to be able to give it to them and things like that.
Yeah.
So, it was like, I remember it was entering January, fresh out of Christmas time. I was super busy. I was trying to finish this truck, trying to customize this truck.
Yeah.
Finally finished the truck, edited the video in like 2 days. Right after, like I literally just finished the truck, edited the video in 2 days. Finished editing the video and uploaded it. And then I was like, I'm leaving right now.
Like as soon as it said like processing complete,
Pretty much.
you were like, all right, guys, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
See you later.
And I started packing at that time because that was January 13th. And I had to, at the time I thought I had to be there on the 16th in LA with the truck. And it was uploading and I was like, all right, I'm going to finish it in the morning and I'm going to like, upload it and then leave in the morning. It ended up being like 6 p.m. I finally left. And I was so ready to leave.
You
I
left at 6 p.m.?
Yes, and I was going to sleep in the truck on the way out there. I didn't even have a blanket. Like that's how unprepared
You
I
didn't
was.
have a blanket?
I had to still get my truck an oil change. And I tried to do it myself because I didn't want to spend money.
God.
So yeah.
So you were really just like trying everything. Like you had so many things that were going on. You were like,
dude, yeah.
I got to make it out there though.
Yeah. I have to make it out there. So left at 6 p.m., drove till 1 a.m., got to like Oklahoma City, slept in at a soda shop on Route 66. I think it was like not Jones Soda, that's a company. Some soda store.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City, Route 66. Slept in that parking lot. Left the next day. Finally got to Arizona. And then I woke up in Arizona at 7 a.m. and it was snowing. So I was like, okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was like northern Arizona.
It
I went
snows in
through
Arizona?
like Flagstaff. And it was snowing.
Oh, wow. That's crazy because like all the headlines that come out of Arizona are like trash cans are melting on the street.
Exactly.
Look at me cooking an
an
egg on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I'm baking cookies in my car. Like
No,
it's stuff
facts.
like that, and then you hear snow.
Yeah, it was weird. Woke up to snow. It was really bad because it was an old truck. It was a 2000, so it was a 23-year-old truck, and I bought it for $1,300. So
Well, it's not
you
bad.
can imagine.
Were you like nervous that the truck wasn't gonna make it out there?
That was the biggest concern.
Like, was there like
The
a distinct
biggest-
moment during the drive that you were like, oh shit?
The biggest concern was getting to LA, because I was and whenever I went through like halfway through New Mexico. I got through halfway through New Mexico. I started noticing like slipping. The transmission was slipping between fourth and fifth gear, and I don't know anything about cars. So I called my mechanic, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was calling my mechanic, and I was like, "Hey, something's wrong with the transmission. I don't know what's up. Like, what do I do?" And I probably could have kept driving.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I was like, I don't want to like blow up. So I called him, and he said, "Hey, find a Walmart, go get some transmission fluid."
Yeah.
Sure enough, that was the problem.
And was everything working fine after that?
Not really.
Oh, okay. So that was just like, okay, we tried something. That's how cars are, man.
Yeah. And then I finally got to LA the next evening. So I left Friday night, got there Sunday night.
Okay.
And met all my friends that I had made over like Instagram.
So how did the actual delivery? Was it that like that next day that you delivered it?
It was supposed to be, and then it wasn't. It was then the day after that.
Okay.
And that's when everybody was delivering their stuff, and that's when Airrack was building the world's largest pizza, which was not in the same location that he was having the world's largest pizza party. He built the world's largest pizza in, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but he built it in the LA Convention Center. And that's where we all delivered our gifts. 10 other people.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it was ridiculous. It's the most surreal experience of my life, but like I just had a pure adrenaline, so I just went out there.
So you're just like, you're like laser focused. I just got to do this. I got to deliver it. Got to deliver
it
it. Got to
had
bring
been
it there.
since August to January is the journey.
Like
of
this was like the height of everything that you've been working towards.
Yeah, that was the culmination of everything I was working on, and finally did it. Oh my god! And then crazy. I keep remembering pieces of my story that I'm like, how the hell did this happen? But he in the video they cut it out, but in the video, he was like, "We're gonna give this away to the fans on my Instagram. Comment if you want it," something like that.
Like the truck?
Yeah. They didn't end up doing that, and I was trying to get in contact with the producers, like, where can I, because I had to leave.
Yeah.
I had to leave LA. I had a flight like a week after all this, or like 2 weeks after all this.
Okay.
And I was like, I gotta leave. What do I do with this? Like, I was trying to find somebody who wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
Airrack associates who could help me out.
Yeah.
Nothing ended up happening. I moved my flight like 5 days later, and then it was like the day I was supposed to leave.
Yeah.
That I moved my flight from. We were at an In-N-Out near UCLA, and I was like editing my video because I was still not done with it.
Yeah.
Still not done with my video.
Because the stuff had just happened.
Yeah. It was like a week after. I think it was a week after.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and then we had it parked. It wasn't outside of In-N-Out. It was like parked here, block and a half.
Okay, so it was a little bit away.
So we were far away because there was no parking. It was the only parking spots that was
LA.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was LA. And like I remember editing my video, I see like a bunch of like sirens go by, but that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of like a city environment, right?
Yeah. And then like whenever we left 2 hours later, or an hour or 2 hours later, and I was editing, and then we turned the corner and I see a bunch of sirens down by where we're parked. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be pretty hard to leave.
No.
It's gonna be pretty hard to leave now. There's like something going on.
Yeah, it's like something clearly happened.
And then we got closer and there was caution tape. Oh, and at this point we're still 100 feet away from and we're like on the sidewalk, looking down the sidewalk. Car. I can't see my truck.
So you're like approaching where you parked.
Yeah, but I can't
and you
see
know
the truck.
something happened.
Yeah, and so caution tape, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be really, really hard to get out tonight. Like, I don't know how we're gonna get it. And it was like 10 or 11 p.m. at this time.
Oh, geez.
And so then I like, we go up to the caution tape, and then we like go, I guess, because there's a sidewalk, cars, and caution tape here, I guess. So we had to like turn around the caution tape, and once we turn around the caution tape and round the corner of this car here, because there's a couple cars in front of us, the truck is.
Yeah.
Then I can finally see the truck, and that's when the door was open. So I was like, oh, I got robbed. My truck got robbed because I had like most of my luggage in there. All I had on me was all my camera stuff and electronics.
Oh, thank God you had all your camera on. Oh my
God.
God.
And the officer came up to us and he was like, hey, you guys can just like go around or something. And I was like, oh no, why is my door open or something? And he's like, oh, this is your car, this is your truck. And I was like, yeah. He's like, somebody lit your truck on fire. So
lit your truck on fire.
Somebody lit the truck on fire in LA is a very bizarre experience. And we later found out it was a homeless man. I think it was a homeless man. And he turned himself in. And so he's out there somewhere. They got him doing something.
Wow.
And yeah. So
what happened after that? Like, how did you manage the rest of the couple days?
Trucks on fire. They called a tow truck for me that was going to charge me $80 a day to park it somewhere. And I said, no, thank you. I don't want to do that. And I didn't have comprehensive insurance. I only had liability.
Yeah.
Because I was only going to have the truck for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you were like, I just don't need anything fancy on it.
And what happened next? We towed it to a Target parking lot, and then we sold it to like this online junk yard dealer person 2 days later.
I mean, hey, at least you
for $300.
found a place for it to go.
Yep. And then I flew to my family's house in San Diego and then went home.
Damn, dude.
Made the video. It's all on there too. It's a crazy journey, a very crazy journey.
So I bet it was really cool to like meet Airrack and the team,
Yeah,
though,
it was
right?
cool.
Like, had you been like actively watching his content before?
I had been watching Airrack on and off for like 2 years.
Okay.
I remember him doing this series with Logan Paul, and he's very inspiring. He's a very inspiring guy. I really like his early videos. They're very inspiring. But
let's go ahead and cut right there, just because if it's about to die, then there's a lot to cover.
Welcome back. Our cameras died.
Yeah, the camera batteries kind of took a shit, so we had to replace them. But now we're back. So okay, so you watched Airrack. How was that like meeting somebody that you would like watch all their content, watch their
really
growth?
tall.
He's really tall. Is he really?
He's like probably 6'3".
Really?
He's probably almost as tall. Well, he's not as tall as Braden, but he's probably no less than 6'1" and no more than 6'3". He's really tall.
Jeez.
Like I'll show you a picture of him after this. It's like
we'll flash it on the screen so that way you can like see what's going on.
And I'm
there.
5'8", so I'm not that tall, but like compared to me, he looks like a giant.
That is terrifying.
Like I think top of my head's probably at his shoulder. Something like that. It's something like that. I don't know if I'm over exaggerating.
See us average kings rise up Because, like I said, we need the vertical help.
But meeting him, yeah, it was very, very crazy. It was such a weird operation. I've never been in the vicinity of
A weird operation.
I've never been in the vicinity of a YouTube video that comprised of a team of like 30 to 50 people in a very large location with 50 things happening at once. It was
The
bizarre.
crew was that big?
It was bizarre. Oh yeah. Well, also because they had people making the world's largest pizza.
I guess that's true. You got a lot of people doing that kind of stuff too.
But I mean, his staff is at least 20, 30 people. At least. It's probably more at this
Yeah.
point, but he has like at least 4 or 5 producers, 4 or 5
Yeah.
editors, managers.
Yeah, I mean, just to like keep up with the rate of everything that's being produced, like
And they make
Yeah.
they make enough money to do it. I remember him saying on a short form video with Jordan Welch, he said he made the best month he ever had was $450,000 on ad revenue. Ad revenue.
on ad
On
revenue.
And I want everybody that's watching this that doesn't understand what ad revenue means compared to your total. Usually ad revenue is like 30 to 40%
Yeah,
of your total.
that's why I'm like on ad revenue
Yeah.
alone.
So he probably made close to $1 million in a month at that time.
Yeah, because like
It's
you
not
gotta
like that. It's probably more like a couple $100,000 a month on average, but right.
still you factor in like sponsors and all that kind of stuff and like others methods of support. Like
Yeah.
that's substantial
And,
and
like,
impressive.
And I don't know if I ever want to get that big to where I have to manage a team like that and think about how I'm bringing in as much money as a decent sized company.
You know, I guess what would be like, what's the top you want to reach subscriber count wise? Because you just recently passed over 100K. You got your play button. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
My boy,
sir.
with the short form and the long form content
Thank you,
coming
sir.
in clutch.
Mainly short form pushing it, but we're coming.
No,
in
but still,
clutch
like
with
your
the
long form is like top notch. Like seriously,
Thank you.
this is why he is here, because he produces quality content. Dude's got like the greatest ideas. Like
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Hence the dark web AI versus strangers control my life question earlier. That was a fantastic question. I never thought about that
That's
before.
exactly why I brought it up.
Which isn't on the podcast. It's on his Instagram, so go follow it. But
Follow on Instagram at This Isn't My Degree.
yeah, but top subscriber count. I wouldn't cap it at a subscriber count because oftentimes a subscriber count is a vanity metric.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it is. I mean, I don't really want. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm making videos like I am now, I don't see the need to have a team that's bigger than like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to like compare right now currently Ryan Trahan versus Airrack. So Airrack,
Yeah.
huge team, around 12, 13 something million subscribers, brings in a lot of money, and he has a huge team. It's Airrack is a media entity. It's a media company.
Mhm.
Airrack is not Eric Decker. Eric Decker
Yeah.
is the
talent.
talent and like probably the CEO. I don't know what position
Yeah.
he is, but like Eric Decker is the CEO, talent, owner of Airrack. Airrack
Yeah.
is now a media company.
Yeah.
But Ryan Trahan, on the other hand, is like he's still a media probably company at the end of the day. But like
Mm-hmm.
his team, I remember him saying a podcast. He used to have a large team and he downsized, and it was more efficient for him. So like that's
That
where I
could
want
make
to be.
sense, yeah.
And he does the same amount of views, probably similar to Airrack, but with a team of like 3 people.
Yeah.
And probably more when you think about who was all actually contributing. But like full time, 3 people probably. Editor and a couple
Yeah.
others, and that's it.
That'd be like the prime, like, I guess, team build.
Yeah.
Is like have an editor, have a producer, have like, you know, project manager,
Yeah.
and maybe like one other person that can help do other stuff.
Like I couldn't see myself. I mean, I don't want to outsource everything
Yeah.
either. I don't want to end up being a manager of a business.
Yeah.
Because if you outsource every tedious task, everything that actually consists of like creating something,
Mm-hmm.
you are now a manager of
yeah.
a business.
Yeah. You can't outsource the creativity
Yeah.
if you want to be a creator.
You're now like a manager of like a Fox, like a news
Yeah.
company or something.
Then you just become talent.
Yeah.
You're not like
You're not editing,
the creative
you're not
vision. You're not the
filming.
yeah.
You could be in the videos, of course.
Yeah.
So you're an actor, I guess, or
Yeah.
like a talent.
Yeah. It's like that's
But
really
that's
all.
it.
It's no different than like starring in a TV
Yeah.
show.
A good friend of mine, Zach, he's Airrack's manager.
Mm.
And he manages also like incoming and outcoming staff, as well as like
Gotcha.
at the end of the day, a manager for a creator just is their job is to make you money, but they also help with
Yeah.
staffing and stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know if I would ever want to be like, because that's kind of who Eric is.
Mm. So you don't want to be like on that level where like
it's not necessarily his level, but it's more of like,
well, like where you're managing a team
Yeah.
and like doing the day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
You just want to
And
be like the creator.
if
You
I
want to
owned
be
a-
doing the cool stuff.
yeah, if I own a different business
Yeah.
of some kind, like if I ended up creating a business that was an offshoot of my YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. But I think right now, when you take out every single task and now you're just managing who does the tasks,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what are you even doing? You're not even doing YouTube anymore. And it's not like, that's just my,
Yeah.
like what I would want to do.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Because
There's
Eric,
nothing wrong with
Eric
that.
is still doing YouTube and it's like fully respectable and he's a businessman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And a creative, like, but I just wouldn't want mine to get that big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be a
Yeah.
lot. Honestly.
It would just be stressful.
yeah,
Very
'cause
stressful. Like, would
Then
never
it like
wanna be-
changes your entire outlook on like
Yeah.
your creative process, how you even operate as a creator.
It's crazy, bro. Because we're witnessing like, the creator economy turn into it's being not necessarily corporatized, but it's like for the longest time, creators have been individuals
Mm-hmm.
with maybe some freelancing, outsourcing, and here and there. But like
Yeah.
the last couple of years, it's like actually changing.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
No, I've noticed it.
It's
Like
really bizarre.
if you
to
really like
watch.
pay attention, it is kind of weird. It's like it's kind of an interesting shift because like that means more opportunities and more like different ways that different industries can work together, but at the same time it's kind of like it makes you think like, is this really for the better?
Yeah, it's like, is this not just traditional media?
Yeah. It's
on
like at
a
what
s-
point
on a different on the internet rather than on a TV.
exactly, it's just on a different format.
Yeah, it's like
It's like the print
that's what I'd
versus
be scared
TV.
of.
Yeah.
Are we gonna lose our? And with AI
Oh, dude.
mixed with everything, it's like, are we? What are we?
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Well, I feel
but-
like AI is gonna like create a new wave of like content that's like very sterile and
I do too.
cookie
but
cutter, but like I think that's gonna make ones that have like creative vision like yourself. That's gonna make you stand out more because so many people are relying on, hey, Chat GPT, can you help me with this kind of video? Come up with a script. How many people is it giving that same script to though? But like whenever you're having unique ideas and your creative approach is very different, which we will get into in another podcast episode.
We're running out of time.
Yeah,
We
we're
have to
running
be
out of
somewhere.
time.
I mean, they have to be.
We
somewhere.
we have a shoot in like
I have to play pickleball.
20 minutes and he's got to go play pickleball with his bucket hat. But yeah, it's like it's going to make that kind of stuff stand out more and that's going to have more like soul to it, you know?
No, I agree. At the end of the day, it's like it's exciting to see things change.
Mm.
I would hate for it to just stay the same all the time. So the fact that we
Yeah.
can even watch it, morph into something new is exciting.
Yeah.
And I love being a part of it. Even
And I
if I'm
think-
not even if I'm not creating videos, just being part of it is fun.
And I think that's the place where we're going to cut this off. I think that's where we're going to end for now.
Valid.
Because yeah, I mean, you'll be back on cuz
I'll be back
he's
on.
got a massive project that he's working on that he can't really say much about, and I'm not going to say anything about it, but we're going to revisit this in the next episode, which will probably come in like a month and a half or two.
If this comes out 2 weeks from when this is being shot, then that means
Yeah.
that I don't know, like 2 weeks from now, I'll probably have already announced it. But right now, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's probably when the show itself is gonna launch because I'm headed to San Fran next week for a week
I'll be
to go
close
shoot
to
with one of my
San Fran
buddies.
in a month ish.
It's gonna be fun. So, thanks for coming on, dude.
Appreciate you, bro. This is not my degree. I didn't go to college, so I don't even have a degree to compare it to.
He doesn't have one to throw into a fireplace, so yeah.
Put it in.
Here.
Put it in there.
So thank you everybody for tuning into the show. Be sure to check out the show notes with all of his links and places you can check out his content. But before you head out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss an upload. That was very YouTube of me, but you got to hit all those steps. Peace.
Peace.